You should know is I'm kind of a spy here, but a friendly spy because I was invited. So I run one of their competitive conferences, just so you know.
Yeah, and you're with IQT.
Yeah, there's a conference called Inside Quantum Technology. That's what the IQT is.
When is that? Where is it?
The next one will be in New York. We do 4 a year in different parts of North America and Europe. The next one will be on the 24th of October next month, almost exactly a month from now.
I may be there.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
If you give me a card, I'll make sure you get in as press.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'll do my best to make sure you get in as press. There's been eating tangerine. There's really 4 parts of quantum technology. I'm trying to think of something that's directly relevant to what you guys do, and I can't, so I'll just go.
What we do is inform people.
Right. So quantum computing, is the main thing that people talk about. Essentially, what it can do is solve very complicated problems in a lot of different areas. I'll mention what in a few minutes, but at a much faster speed than a regular computer.
Right.
And that's not a size issue, it's a completely different architecture. Everybody knows what bits are. Quantum computers use qubits, which means they can essentially, I think this will be good enough for your audience, contain a lot of more information.
Right.
So they're processing.
So they're smarter bits.
They're
smarter bytes.
Really, if you process a bit, you're processing a bit. If you process a qubit, you're processing an increasingly large amount of information, which means that they can process the same problems, but in much faster speed. So the one that comes up all the time is, can you break the regular encryption? It does have some relevance to the extent that there's places where I think it's still illegal. Can you break regular standard encryption using a classical computer? The answer is really, you can, but it might take you several million years to do. And with a quantum computer, not one we have yet, it's not powerful enough yet, but you might be able to break it in 9 minutes.
Will individuals be able to have their own identifiable qubit that interacts with another piece of security that protects their data?
Yes, although that's a different part of the quantum technology thing. There's several ways of doing that. One of them is to use fiber optic link, but then you use quantum information to transport whatever you want to do. I mean, it would be useful to people smuggling drugs, for instance. And essentially, if somebody tries to break in there, the quantum physics is such that the information you're trying to get to would actually disappear.
Right.
Literally disappear.
Right.
But there's also
It sounds like you're an expert on the criminal potential aspect.
Well, you think about it. Well, actually, on the encryption side of things, that's what it's about, and military, of course.
Right.
But NIST, which definitely isn't criminal, National Institute of Science and Technology,
right,
are gradually developing, and some overseas organizations are gradually developing new forms of encryption that can't easily be broken by a quantum computer. And then the other thing is quantum sensing, which, simply put, is a lot of the same kind of sensing we've had for many years, but can you have sensing that's more sensitive? I mean, that's sort of what it does.
Right.
So that's the 4 bits, and linking it all together, 3 bits actually, and linking it all together are quantum networks, which we possibly conventional networks at one level, but will be we'll use entanglement and other quantum phenomena to transport qubits rather than bits.
Right.
And one day, not one day soon, you'll be able to have your quantum computer in wherever you live, and a quantum computer in Richmond, which is where I live, and communicate in qubits. Right now, there's tens of thousands of people using quantum computers, but they just link up with their PC to an
service.
IBM or IonQ through a service.
Right.
It isn't even that expensive, but eventually I'm not sure if you'll have your own quantum computers in homes, but you will in businesses.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
Sure.
Appreciate it, and